Aerodrome is not doing too well right now. Let's talk about it. So looking at the chart of Aerodrome, you can see, right, we've actually broken multiple support levels that I previously said could hold up, and we've broken those levels, and right now we are definitely trending downward. We are testing this support zone from about $1 to $1.13, $1.15. We're testing that support zone, and if we do break the support zone even further, then we are going to this support zone at about 85 cents. So that is the downside from today's price. This is the short-term price action that I predict. I think that we actually do have a good chance of at least touching this 85 cent range, 75 cent range. However, you can see that in terms of the RSI, we are definitely overextended. We've touched this bottom RSI for the past couple of days. Yeah, in terms of RSI, we're definitely oversold right now. So I expect short-term bounces, right? We're probably going to bounce up a little bit here, and probably consolidate at this yellow zone right here from about $1 to $1.15. Probably gonna consolidate there for a little bit, and then what happens afterwards is, we either go up or we go down, right? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future, but I'm just saying that this red consolidation zone is a short-term bearish target. We're definitely in a bearish trend right now because we've broken multiple consolidation zones, where we've broken this zone, we've broken this zone, and we have yet to test this zone. But I think that is going to be kind of the ultimate test, right? Is if we break this yellow consolidation zone right here, because if we do break this yellow zone, then we're definitely going much lower. So you might be asking yourself, why is this happening, right? What is happening to Aerodrome? It was doing so well, it was holding up so well, and now it's dropping so much. Well, usually when times like these happen, I like to look at the entire market, and as you can see from the entire market, we are red, right? We are massively in the red. There are very few coins in the green right here. If you take a look at Bitcoin, right, it's dropped back down to about that 62K range. We had this drop to 61K just a few hours ago, and you can see from the past week, past month, Bitcoin's also in a downtrend. And the thing with altcoins is when Bitcoin drops, altcoin drops even harder, and this is exactly what you can see from this crypto bubble chart, right? So you can see all of these coins are down massively while Bitcoin is down, maybe 1%, 2%. If you look at the top 100 to 200 coins, you can see it's the exact same thing. Looking at the top 200 to 300 coins, you can see also in the red. And even if I go down to like 500 to 600, you can see we are still in the red. And that's one thing I wanted to touch on as well, right? The market right now is very uncertain still, right? There's still a lot of fear in the market, and a lot of people expected Bitcoin to just massively rise after the halving. Well, I told you guys, Bitcoin will probably consolidate, maybe even dip back down to 50K after the halving, right? That's definitely a possibility. After every single halving that we've had in the history of Bitcoin, we've seen crypto actually drop or consolidate for the next few months. So I would say May, June, and July are probably going to be times where you see the crypto market consolidate and you see there's not that much price action, at least towards the upside, right? There's probably going to be even some downwards price action. That's what we're seeing the beginnings of right now. You can see even Ethereum is down 4.7%. Everything is down, and that's okay because that's just how these crypto cycles work. And Aerodrome is just one of the victims of this recent Bitcoin drop. Now, of course, Aerodrome was holding very well, but I think this pullback was much needed because look at this massive run up, right? Basically in the past like month and a half, we went from 11 cents all the way up to $2.33. We did a 23x in like 2 months. This pullback was definitely needed. I think we definitely will retest this yellow, of course, and then possibly this red, just to kind of flush out a lot of those people that already bought, back all the way back here, and they're taking some profits, which is, something that's very smart to do, right? If I got in at 10 cents, which I did not, right? I wish I got in at 10 cents, but if I did get in at 10 cents, I probably would have sold some at around, 150, probably sold some at around $2, and then I'll probably be selling some right now as well, because a 10x is nothing to scoff at, right? A 15x, a 20x, if you hit those gains in the crypto market, right, take some profit. And that's what's happening right now, right? We're seeing some whales take some profit, and that's perfectly okay. That is just going to prepare us for the next leg up. That gives us way more momentum when the market corrects and we do actually get a next leg up, right? I actually hope Aerodrome consolidates for the next few weeks in this area, right? Anywhere from about like 70 cents to $1.15, right? If we see consolidation in that area for a long time, right, that's going to be very good for the future of Aerodrome. And talking about the future of Aerodrome, I also wanted to touch on its tokenomics really quick, because that's something I actually didn't really touch on in my previous videos on Aerodrome. So looking at Aerodrome, one of the main things that's a slight risk on Aerodrome's tokenomics is going to be its inflationary tokenomics. So Aerodrome's tokens are inflationary, which is definitely not the best, but there are countermeasures put in place to prevent massive inflation. So one of the things that Aerodrome does is, of course, it has weekly emissions. That's kind of where that inflationary factor comes in, right? Every single week, there's 10 million Aerodrome tokens being put out into the supply. And of course, there's an emission schedule. You guys can read the documents in the Aerodrome website for more information on this. But there is also a lock feature. So Aerodrome holders are able to, they're able to lock their Aero tokens for an indefinite amount of time for 4 years, usually for like 4 years. Basically, they can't take out their tokens for 4 years, and they actually earn emissions from that. So they earn money from locking their tokens, and that kind of counteracts that inflationary measure to some degree. But of course, there is still some risk to it. But the thing is, a lot of decentralized finance protocols and decentralized exchanges in particular have this inflationary feature as not something that's uncommon. It's actually very common amongst DEXs. So that's definitely not something I would be completely concerned about, but it's something to keep in mind for sure. And like I touched on a little bit earlier, after the Bitcoin halving, altcoins and cryptocurrency in general tend to dip, right? So Bitcoin, of course, usually dips after the halving. You can see in 2017, we had the halving in around July, and then it was not until November when we actually went back to the price of the halving. So we had this basically 4 month, 5 month, 6 month long dip. Same thing happened in 2020. You can see that we had the halving, and then we had a large period of consolidation for basically like 3 to 4 months, right, until we eventually made a next move up. And I believe this halving is going to be a similar story. I believe we're going to consolidate, possibly even drop back down to about that, in that 50 to 60K range. And then eventually, maybe in like September, October, then we actually start shooting up. And then maybe in like November, we hit the all-time high of Bitcoin, and then altcoin season begins because the Bitcoin dominance will be at its peak. Bitcoin dominance is the most crucial concept you need to understand in the cryptocurrency space. And whenever we see Bitcoin dominance peak out and then start dropping, that is when altcoin season begins. And you can see right now, we are definitely following this trend, and I believe that it's just a matter of time before Bitcoin dominance tops out. Now, right now, we are targeting this green zone right here, and we're targeting this kind of blue line as a support line. And I believe once we cross this blue line, support line, we are going to see Bitcoin dominance start to drop, and then altcoin season begin. So this just gives you a good long-term view on where potential price action will be in the future, and it basically tells you that, hey, all of your altcoins haven't really fully pumped yet. There's still a lot of time for your altcoins to pump. So that's gonna be it for the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're still bullish on Aerodrome, and I will see you guys in the next one.